either way, in conclusion, it's been very, part two, to finish my vlog from before, it's been very difficult. And I do feel like there's been dishonesty. And, you know, I did readings for myself yesterday, and it said there's a criminalistic aspect to what happened to me. And I know people are hacked into my phone. I've been waiting around for answers for months now. I know that I think I've been exposed to or been ingesting heavy metals on a daily basis. It's a miracle that I'm still alive. You know, so it's crazy to be betrayed like that repetitively. I mean, I don't know, unless someone's trying to do a study on resilience on me without my consent, but I'm pretty sure if that's what I was going to look up, this was the Nuremberg Code. For anyone that doesn't, because so here's the thing. Oh my God, Nuremberg Code. So what happened, if people don't understand, so the Nuremberg Code was put into place because it says Nuremberg Code forbids forced medical procedures and is a crime. And these were, if you look here, so these were the people that they were put on trial for basically you know, inflicting pain and torture upon the victims of the Holocaust. And they violated the victim, you know, their rights, because they conducted experiments on concentration camp victims, and they didn't use anesthesia, they tortured them brutally, and then also killed and murdered a bunch of, it's mass genocide. And so these doctors were prosecuted by, I don't remember what his name was, but they prosecuted the doctors for, you know, in the Holocaust, and the United Nations created the Nuremberg Code, if you don't know what that is. But so at the Office of Research Integrity of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Nuremberg Code is a directive for human experimentation. It's and the reason why I say this is because by the grace of God, I have not died yet. I have walked into places where, and gas is really, vapors, noxious gases and vapors, the only way you can truly judge if someone's affected by it would be, they would have to have some sort of physiological response, meaning like you would have a depreciation or desaturation in your oxygen, or you'd have, depending on if there was a stimulant, your heart rate would increase. But if it's something that's like a nervous system suppressant or like a neurotoxin, which is terrible, could be detrimental to you, or lethal for that matter, or if it's something that causes asphyxiation, you would see deterioration in the subject or in the person. I mean, so it depends on what it is, because if it's a neurotoxin, that stunts your nervous system, which is terrifying. I mean, it's all terrifying, you know. One thing is not better than the other. And you would have some sort of physical manifestation of that. So like you would have acidosis possibly. So you need to measure the blood gas, the arterial blood gas levels, you know, in your blood to see, are you in, like there's alkalosis and there's, you know, acidosis. So you want to see where you're at, right, in that respect. You can do, if there's heavy metal and toxification, you would do a heavy metal test. If there was cardiomyopathy, there's certain enzymes like, you know, which is a weakening of the heart muscle fascia tissue. I think cardiac tissue is striated. I'm not sure. I can't remember what I learned in, I was gonna say med school. I didn't go to medical school, but I did study medicine for a bit. And you would see cardiomyopathy, there's cardiomegaly, which is an enlargement of the heart. You would notice that on either like an echocardiogram or a chest x-ray. And there's certain enzymes you can do, like HSCRP, which is C-reactive protein, which detects inflammation in the body. And then there's also, what's the other one? Troponin. You could check your troponin levels for elevated enzymes, because that's when you have a heart attack or myocardial infarction, that would indicate that. So there are different, you have to kind of play detective, and you would try to figure out what's going on in your body. And it is frustrating when you've worked in medicine and you go to a hospital and you're like, I don't feel good. And you're like assessing all these different things and trying to figure out what it is. And then they're like, no, but we're not going to do that. And I'm just like, are you going to order a CT scan? Are you going to order a chest x-ray? What are we doing? Are we doing a sound, like a ultrasound? Give me the Doppler. I'll put the, we'll do, left ventricle, whatever, mitral valve regurgitation, blah, 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 anyways, so there are outward manifestations of like deterioration that would show, but with gang stalking, they would try to cover that up, which is frustrating. So anyways, and that's been that's the thing, how do you prove that? Because gas, some things are odorless, tasteless, you would never know. I mean, ammonia has a sweet smell to it. Cyanogenic gas does, I think it would have also a sweet smell to it from what I understand. Mercury, I don't know. And I'm naturally inquisitive, so like I've been the kind of person where I have gravitated towards learning about certain things, where I wanted to, learn, because to me knowledge is power. The more you know, if I didn't know the stuff that I know about medicine and health and stuff, I probably would have I would have croaked, I would have croaked, just because it's been nearly impossible, like, to go through all this stuff and not, like, I took care of myself. I was my own nurse, basically, and did child life therapy on myself and my dog. So this kind of shit that I've been going through, it's been very difficult. And to be not given proper, like, the due diligence in healthcare is just, it's such a violation of my human rights. Like, because like I said, one thing, I've said this before, and the first thing they teach in medical school is thou shalt do no harm, which is a Hippocratic oath. I don't know what it is for law school, but that's what, and these people violate that 10 times over. And it's been just from even an outsider's perspective, like if I took a outsider looking in, this stuff that these people did, like, I went from being this valued healthcare professional to slowly being so afraid and fearful to step outside, to make friends, to go out on dates and do things like that, that you can see that. You can see the progression of fear that happened, where I had to go seek help, like psychological help, psychiatric help, and none of them said that I was schizophrenic. My parents said the opposite. They were trying to almost plead. Everyone in my family pleaded a case for me, saying that I was bipolar, that I was schizophrenic. People try to paint me out as having dissociative identity disorder, that I was disassociating from reality. And I'm like, I am very much in tune with reality. I have much self-awareness. I have emotional intelligence. So why are you trying to gaslight me to make me think that I'm deficient or defective in some way in my mind? I probably do have a chemical imbalance, yes, because I have more cortisol, the stress hormone of cortisol, and like epinephrine and whatever coursing through my veins. But I might have like a decrease in dopamine and serotonin because I was so sad. But I sure as hell was not delusional. I'm very much in touch with reality. I don't hallucinate, and I fully recognize that there are such things as cognitive distortions, where you give more credence to things than really what is happening. So you associate, because of a negative experience, you start to project that onto everyday things, and you go, oh, and then you start to try to find meaning and correlations between things that are happening in your life and, the trauma, which is a cognitive distortion, because that might not actually be happening. So I'm very cognizant of that, 100%. It's the psychological betrayal of the whole gaslighting bullshit that gets me, and people not taking accountability for what was done to me, because I can't go back 6 years and change I can't. And the whole 6 years, I literally was just moving from state to state. So then you try explaining that to a recruiter. You try explaining that to a doctor, and if they're crooked, and they'll try to steer you in like, so it's very hard. There are a lot of, and I almost tell myself, I go, is this like a cult? You know, like, who's behind this shit? Because then what happens is you move to a new community and people talk, and then they start a neighborhood watch, and then they think that they're doing good by the neighborhood by targeting you and keeping tabs on you and trying to provoke you and drive their cars around you and honk their horns or zoom past you or smoke in your direction. Like, I don't smoke, and oftentimes people will be smoking cigarettes in front of me, plain as day, like in my path on purpose. You know, I think at one point they thought I was homophobic, which I'm not. So they had a bunch of people, you know, wear things with pride or whatever. And I'm like, bro, I'm pro LGBTQIA. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You know, like, I'm not going to get deterred. I'm not homophobic. I know, you know, love is love. So that was weird. It's just very strange to me. The whole thing is very bizarre. And it's a commentary. It's very sad to see that this persists in our society, and that lawmakers and law enforcement don't do what they need to do to stop it. Because there's definitely, like, this should not be happening. And because I speak up and I speak out about it, I'm labeled a threat. Right? I'm labeled a problem that needs to be neutralized, essentially, I'm sure, in some capacity. And I'm like, yeah, but you guys are affecting me. You know, I'm staying in my lane. I was a child specialist. I was living my life. I loved working with kids, and I still love working with kids. And along comes whoever, and, you know, let's put cyanide in her food. Let's put arsenic. Let's try to give her cancer, because all these things are carcinogenic. Mercury, thallium, arsenic, lead. There was at one point, I kid you not, that I think I was showering in lead. Now, mind you, and I Googled, I go, is lead absorbent in the skin? You know, our skin is very porous. We have several layers of our skin. You have the dermis, the epidermis, and you have subcutaneous fat. You have muscle tissue and fascia, you have your tendons and all that. So I'm like, but anything, you would think you would get absorbed, but apparently lead doesn't get readily or easily absorbed in the body. Other things do. So I was like, okay, I have that going for me. But these people could have killed me. That's what I don't understand. If this is some sort of, because on Quora, the people say, the Quora forum, they say, oh, it's a social experiment, it's illegal human experimentation or whatever, and people are turning a blind eye to it. Like, dude, they don't understand that what they're doing is lethal. I could die. So you wonder how many people, honestly, who have taken their lives, whether they're celebrities or not, because I'm sure celebrities also get targeted because they're humans, and I'm sure that they do. You know, anyone could get targeted. There's certain reasons. I've mentioned this before in another vlog, that there's a PI, his name was David Lawson, and he wrote a book about targeting and gang stalking. I don't know. I think they tried to take it off. Oh, look, execution. David Lawson execution. Interesting. I put David Brian Lawson, sexual offenders and predators search. I didn't want. Oh, private investigator David Lawson went undercover. Look, end gang stalking, change.org, protect the rights of targeted individuals. Dr. David Lawson, I'm going to go here. I'm going to click this. Where is it? Let me see here. Hold on. According to a book published by Dr. David Lawson, an experienced private investigator who has spent several years researching this issue, numerous instances of this covert harassment have been documented. The practice not only infringes on the victim's privacy, but also represents a serious form of psychological warfare. It is crucial that law enforcement agencies and human rights organizations pay more attention to these concerns. Laws must be enforced and updated to cover such acts, holding those accountable whatever their status or involvement. We must all stand one in voice to denounce this social menace and uphold the dignity of every individual. It's a petition, basically, on change.org. But it says gang stalking involves the use of multiple individuals to stalk, harass, and intimidate a person, causing emotional distress and violating their basic human rights. The phenomenon is reported to be increasing and affecting thousands worldwide, yet it remains largely ignored by mainstream media. And this is a petition, and apparently, I guess he lives in Kentucky, whoever this guy is, and he's trying to get people to sign it. It's very hard. And it's funny because Oh, I don't know, he's a doctor, but he apparently went undercover. Dr. David Lawson. But what's funny is what comes up is they put him, it says FDLE on sexual offender and predator system. David Brian Lawson. But that's not who I'm looking up, though. No, I'm gonna put gang stalking. So, basically, look, gang stalking, the forbidden book. He wrote a book about it. And he basically ascertained that there were specific reasons why people get gang stalked. Either you whistleblow on something, you piss off an employer, you piss off a former lover, 11:11 on the clock, confirmation, or you have like an inheritance or a trust fund or fortune coming to you. So people gang stalk you, or people start rumors about you. But usually those are the main reasons why. But there was a book before. And this Dr. John C. Hall. He also is a targeted person. But David Lawson, he was cause stalking. So here we go. Cause stalking, which is also called gang stalking, is performed by extremists and anti-government groups. Targets include, this is what he said, include activists, the enemies of politicians, and the corporations they work for, whistleblowers, public officials, and doctors who... They also select targets of opportunity. These are not enemies of the group, but are selected based on their vulnerability. Stalking groups can be large as hundreds of people. Stalking is only part of their activities. Targets are subjected to harassment campaigns, break-ins, staged incidents, street theater, vandalism. Their modus operandi is to identify, vilify, nullify, and destroy. This book is a guide for victims on how to get rid of... get rid of these, like, just end it. We've added a chapter on how to run your own psyops. This is back in 2009. So, but they will vandalize, like, if you have a car, they'll vandalize your car, they'll vandalize your home. They'll try to get into your home. They'll use maintenance men. That's happened to me a lot. They'll use maintenance people. They'll talk to your landlord of your building, and they'll try to, like, give reason and causation for, like, why you need to be, watched or surveillanced or targeted. Like, they'll give stupid reasons to justify their behavior and whatnot. So it's pretty shitty. And because I sense things like 10 times over, it makes it that much harder. Oh, look at this. My life changed forever. The years I have lost as a target of organized stalking. So, hold on, my computer. I don't know why it's looking like, I don't know. Okay, this is weird. My location says okay, you want to talk about hacking? So when you do, like, when you go on a website, right, like to go shopping or whatever, and it defaults to your current location, apparently I'm in Mumbai. Do you see that? This is Amazon. It defaulted to Mumbai, India. So I have someone in India hacked, unless someone's doing it to trick me. I have someone in India hacked into my computer. You tell me why I have someone from India hacked into my computer. It says it right here. Proof right here. Delivering to Mumbai. Because I go, why is it showing the Indian flag? Right? It says my language is English, but it says delivering to Mumbai. Because it defaults to wherever you're located. And I remember when this all started, my location was like all over the place. When I was in Miami, it said I was in Oklahoma. It said I was in Jacksonville, Florida. It said I was in the Bronx in New York. And it said I was in Sacramento or San Diego, California. Go figure. So I don't know who's logged into my computer. Anyways, but yeah, basically, yeah, it's fun stuff. So I'm trying my hardest, folks. I really am. This is not, it's not my swan song. It's not my swan song. What these people have done to me is nothing short of atrocious, and my dog. Because I wonder if my dog is being affected by it too. Because I give her sometimes what I eat. She loves to eat people food. She loves pizza, she loves pasta, she loves rice, she loves chicken. But they've taken it like a step too far in terms of like hurting me. And, you know, I keep telling myself, who's gonna be the change maker? Or who's gonna be the game changer in this whole thing? Because I refuse to let this be my life. And I deserve to stand up for myself 100%, 100,010%. Because I matter. Everyone matters. The Constitution fucking says we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. I learned that in high school. I had to learn the preamble and all this, the Bill of Rights, majority of it. So like, I don't understand what these people like, what they want. Is it a spiritual thing? Do they want to siphon people spiritually? You know, is it all just a joke to them? Is it a simulation? Like, did they simulate the fact, like, because people kept insinuating that I was like, so my thing was, they tried to brainwash me or program me to think that I committed murder. I've never touched anyone. I've never, like, I remember someone would mess with my in the car when I was like driving rental cars to and from places. They would mess with my music and they would skip songs and stuff, and then it said wanted for murder, and I'm like, I've never touched anybody. I've never prayed for death upon anybody. I don't do black magic. I don't do anything sinister. I don't do witchcraft. I'm definitely not a trafficker. I've never trafficked humans before. I don't even know how to do that. I don't do drugs. I don't sell drugs. I am like I don't want to say a saint, but like, I'm a good girl. I don't go out on the weekends to party. I stay home most of the time. So I'm like, either there's a severe misunderstanding and someone hacked into my shit and used my Wi-Fi to do something, or my IP address, or, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't know. I don't know. And that's like just now, I just got something for an interview for a job, and the last name of the person has to do with something that deals with death. I'm not kidding. And I don't want to like out the woman. I mean, I don't know if she knows about it has to do with a grave. I'm not going to say her full name, but it has to do with a grave. This is what I mean, folks. This is exactly what I mean. And that's a job that I applied for. A real job at a school, indoors, that I'm qualified for. Go figure. Now, and like I said, this is the interesting part. I'm innocent. I did nothing wrong, right? I did nothing wrong. So you tell me why I have a group of people, whoever they are, trying to sabotage me and ruin my life, and trying to off me and kill me or scare me or instill fear within me, or you tell me. Why would people do that? I've had to adjust my life like do remote work and do this and that just because, you know, these people have some weird fixation about death or the afterlife or whatever, because they know that they're wrong. You know, these people know that they're wrong. They know that they fucked up. They know that and here's the thing, no one's touched me. This whole thing, there's been no touching. It's been gassing, drugging, poisoning, scapegoating, framing. And I honestly think they look at it as a competition, like how far can we push this person until they'll crack? What can we do? What is her Achilles heel? Oh, she loves her family? Let's destroy her family. Oh, she wants a real relationship with a man one day? Let's target her. Let's make sure that every man that comes towards her is a perp or one of our people. Oh, she loves her dog? Okay, we'll kill her dog slowly. But then they're like, oh, but we're doing good by people. We're teaching them to appreciate God more and get closer to God. No, you're not. I was always close to God. I didn't have to, you know, go through a horrible circumstance to strengthen my faith in the Lord and God. No. So, you know, and people do setups like that. That could be a setup for me to go there and then to try to like hurt me. I'm not stupid, but I need to work. You know, I feel like I've had multiple attempts in my life and people are like, no, it's just a joke. We're just trying to test you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Because you could have, your prank could have nearly killed me. I don't think putting aluminum or lithium or cyanide or mercury or thallium in someone's food is a funny joke. You know, in my humble opinion, I don't think that's a joke because that could kill you, you know. Or drugs or fentanyl or heroin or meth. That's not a joke, folks. So if you are someone who's watching my videos and my channel and you don't like me, and well, you're an asshole. Respectfully, because I had a beautiful life and I deserve to live. And this is not a joke to me. Bullying someone with drugs and heavy metals and toxins and poisons and whatever else and trying to disrupt my health and my endocrine system because you want to study me and see how protected I am by God, then may God bless you and help you people. But I have rights. I'm a human. You guys realize that, right? If you watch my channel, because I'm sure some of the people do. I am a human. I'm an American citizen. I'm not an illegal immigrant. I don't need sponsorship with a visa. And I'm not a puppet and I'm not a plaything. I fucking matter. And I did nothing wrong. And you people robbed me of 6 years of my life. So trying to put shit in the hallway of my building or in the elevator, that's a low fucking blow. Do you understand me? Having a landlord, a neighbor, a maintenance person come into my space. Is their name on the lease? No. So whatever your people's problem is, because you want to obstruct my life and you want to make it hard for me and you want to make me sick or homeless or depressed, and I choose to not do that, I deserve to be here. And everyone that participated on this thing, that you guys all gathered together to do the little mind control bullshit, that's not fucking fair. Because you people tried to fucking murder me. Do not try to deviate from that. Do not. Because I am a very loving woman. I am kind. I have a good heart. And it takes a lot for me to get me provoked and angry. And I will only speak my mind to you, and I will only cut you off if you hurt me or people that I love. And if your life was destroyed the way mine was, for sure you'd be pissed off too. By losers. Losers that are adults. Adults, not children. I worked with kids. I understand development. And trying to take my life with heavy metals and poisons and all this shit, because you think it's a joke, you think it's a game, because you guys think it's like the Hunger Games and the Squid Games. It's not funny. It's not fucking funny. Trafficking humans is not funny. And you people should be arrested for that shit. But will you? I don't know. So don't get mad at me because I lived through all your egregious fucking malicious attacks. And doing the no-touch torture, human torture game. Oh, but did you die though? I don't care. That's abuse. Abuse does not have to be physical to be considered abuse. It could be psychological, spiritual, emotional, financial, workplace abuse. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't sit there and defend myself and create a docket and go to a judge and say, hey, Your Honor, this is what happened to me. Is there any way I can get, recompense or, restitution for what I've gone through? Hey, I'm pretty sure I experienced medical malpractice because when I was in Philadelphia and I had hyperinflation, as per the nurse practitioner, Jennifer or Julia, whatever, she said that I had hyperinflation, but then she called me back and she redacted it and said that I didn't have that, but my lungs were hurting and they were on fire and it hurt and it was hard to breathe. Another time when I was in Hollywood, Florida, visiting a friend, trying to stay with her, I went to a hospital because I was having horrible chest pain because I couldn't breathe, and I'm pretty sure I had some sort of possible mini heart attack. The doctors, basically the nurses, the LPN almost butchered my veins, and she caused a hematoma on my arm, and I'm pretty sure he didn't run the test that he was supposed to, and he lied to me because I'm pretty sure I had elevated enzymes levels that indicated a slight myocardial infarction, which thus would be deemed medical malpractice. So that's a conspiracy to sabotage and undermine a specific individual. Is there something that I can do about that? Because that's what I deserve. Too many lives get lost because of this bullshit. And I need a job. Because I deserve to be here. So if you think you're going to fuck me over because I'm sweet and I'm kind and I'm nice, which I am very, 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 very nice. And I am a sweetheart. And you ask anyone who knows me, they will say from the past, they'll go, Ashley, oh, she's a sweetheart. She would never do anything to hurt anybody. And that's the truth. But you folks hurt me. If you watch my channel and you're like, oh, we have to kill her. Well, there'll be blood on your people's hands. And if you try to cover it up, people will know. But I don't think this is funny at all. To rig my food, to rig my water, because who knows what reason you guys have. I'm sorry I haven't died yet. I'm sorry that I choose to push forward. I'm sorry that I believe that people deserve fairness. I'm sorry that I uphold the fucking law of the United fucking States of America. It's about high time that maybe you people do that too. But if you guys want to let crime go to the wayside and you don't want to do anything about it, okay. But like I said, you tell me why my phone or my computer is defaulting to Mumbai, India. Because I sure as hell in India. And if you have answers, if you know what's going on with me and you're not telling me, then guess what? That makes you a bystander to a crime. That makes you an accomplice to a crime. I don't care if you're a cyber engineer, a software engineer, whatever fucking engineer that you are working for. I don't care if you're a federally contracted cybersecurity company. And if you're not telling me the truth about what's happening to me, then shame on you. Because I'm not going to be a subject for fucking bullshit. I'm not. I refuse. And we're better than that. I'm sorry. We're better than that as a nation. I don't consider myself a patriot, but I'm sorry. Like, it's fucking abusive. I lost everything. My child life certification credential because I had to move around the fucking United States to try to find safety. Been almost killed indoors at jobs because I think I was exposed to like DDT pesticides. Nearly almost died from that. I think a guardian angel appeared like last minute, years ago. Don't put my life in harm's way so that you people could find some whatever satisfactory, I don't know, bullshit thing. I'm not an animal. And animals don't deserve to have that done to them either. So I'm sorry if my words irk you and bother you, but you're hurting me and my family and my dog. And I matter. Maybe you don't think that, but I matter. And I deserve to have my life back. And you want to say, oh, we're going to kill you if you get... No, well, you guys are violating human rights laws and a bunch of stuff. I'm not fighting for anything significant or extravagant. I'm just saying, leave me the fuck alone. And stop trying to control my reality and control my mind, because it's not yours to fucking take. Deuces.